Thank you, Kaushik, for the talk. Uh, so I think with this, we come to the end of all the technical talks. Actually, I was supposed to give a talk today, but then,
I bumped him out.
Yeah, so I was supposed to give a talk on AI and ML for fog and edge, but then I'm not going to do that. But what I'll do now is I'm just trying to see if I can just give me a moment. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to summarize the winter school and probably give out what we plan to do next. So, Russell, are you around? Russell, are you around?
Yes.
Okay. So so the title of my talk would be What's Next in 2021. So let me introduce myself. I am Rajesh Hegde. I am a professor and head of the electrical engineering department at IIT Kanpur. So myself and Tao Zhang were the chairs of this winter school. Of course, I'll come to that. I think I'll come to that. So what I'm going to talk about now is I'll just briefly summarize the winter school. So this idea of the winter school came from Russell. So I have to thank Russell for that. So he was the one who initiated the idea. So Russell is here. So and then Russell is a distinguished visiting professor at IIT Kanpur. He was supposed to be at IIT Kanpur now, but then because of COVID, he is not able to make it. So Russell initiated this idea that this first summer school on fog and edge computing was held at Shanghai Tech. So it was chaired by Yang Yang. I don't know if Yang Yang is here. He was here for the talk, but I'm sure maybe he's not here now. So the first summer school was held in Shanghai Tech, and that was quite a successful summer school on fog and edge computing. So Russell initiated this idea that we should have it at IIT Kanpur this time. So then we started off with this leadership team here. So which consisted of Abhay, who's the director of IIT Kanpur, then Russell, Alex Gelman, Doug Zuckerman, and of course Tao Zhang, who's a co-chair of this. And more importantly, Kaushik, who's played a very active role in making this winter school a success. And then I Chun Pang and Hung Yu and Yang Yang. I'm sorry, there is a small mistake here. So this is actually Yang Yang. So I'm extremely sorry for the mistake. So this particular person is Yang Yang and this is Hung Yu. So we started off with this leadership team and then we set about planning for the winter school. And I must say that we were able to put all the program together in a very short time. Thanks to Kaushik, thanks to Russell, thanks to Tao. So we were able to put together a good speaker list, a very good speaker list in my opinion. I hope all of you who participated would agree with that. So we put together a program and we put it together for 2 days, December 29th and 30th of 2020. So essentially we wanted to keep the talks to about 25 to 30 minutes so that we could have a large number of speakers. In fact, we have had around 32 speakers speaking at the school. So over 2 days, we have had 32 speakers who have spoken at the school. So I cannot but introduce the volunteers that have worked with me behind the scenes. So these are some of my PhD students and some of my staff in the Center for Continuing Education at IIT Kanpur. So they have put in a lot of hard work behind the scenes to make this successful. And I'm happy to say that we passed off without a glitch. So I wish to thank all the people in the volunteer team who have helped make this school a success. I don't know if Gyana is around. Gyana, are you around? You can say hi.
Yes, sir. Hello, everybody.
One of the volunteers is here. So Gyana, you can say hi.
Hello, everybody, all the panelists and attendees.
So Gyana has played a very, active role in sending out the emails, fixing the registrations and sending reminders and, all the stuff behind the scenes. So there are all the other students here and some of my staff So I'd like to thank this guy Yogendra Singh. So here's the guy who did a brochure, the website. Yogen, are you online? Yogen? I don't know if he's online. Yogen, are you online?
Yeah. Yes, sir, I'm online.
Can you say hi to everybody? I'm
Yeah,
not able
hello
to see
everyone,
you.
and yeah, it's very nice. Actually, I would like to say thanks to all of you guys and my staff members. Actually,
Okay, thank you again. He was the guy who did the website and the brochure, and he's put in a lot of hard work into making it aesthetically pretty pleasing and organized systematically. So there are the other people are some of my students who have worked with Gyana and Yogen. So some statistics about the school. So we had around approximately 1,100 attendees who had registered from around the world. These are not exact numbers. We'll do a number crunching after the school is over. So there were around 800 from India and maybe around 300 from other than India. So we had around 35 panelists joining from around the world. And we were able to live stream this event on YouTube. And we had people watching on YouTube as well, a large number of people watching on YouTube. So this is some of the things about the school. So technical stuff, let me try to see if I can summarize this. So we covered a large gamut of things. So we covered where do I start? We covered 5G and 6G for future mobile networks. We covered fog and edge computing for smart cities. We covered cyber security. We covered security for fog and edge computing. And we also covered certain offbeat topics, not offbeat essentially, but something that would not have fit in a regular fog edge computing school, something like fintech, which was a lot of participants appreciated. And we had Wendy talking about smart grid, fog and edge computing for smart grid, which was quite interesting. And then we had a set of speakers which Kaushik found to talk about technology investments and startups, which was quite interesting. Actually, there were several questions from the participants. And then we had topics like AR and VR applications and IoT. And we also had Christopher today talking about a very nice talk about learning for fog and edge computing in terms of federated learning and other aspects of learning. We were also, privileged to have Rob Fish, who is the president of the IEEE Standards Association, and Doug Zuckerman giving the opening remarks. So overall, this I thought I'll give you a summary of the school. So we were able to cover a large gamut of topics in the winter school, spread over 2 days. We had some very good keynote speakers. So we had Tao Zhang speak on edge computing. He spoke about where are we headed with edge computing. And then we had Flavio, who's the one can call the inceptor of fog and edge computing, talk on inception of fog and edge computing. And then today we had Yoshiki Sasaki, who gave a very interesting talk on aging society and innovations in the context of fog and edge computing. We had Tom Daly today, who gave a very nice talk on 5G as an innovation driver. And from India, we had some very, very, very high profile speakers. We had Abhay Karandikar talk on 5G and beyond. And then we had the CTO of Tata Consultancy Services, Anant Krishnan. TCS is supposed to be the largest IT company in India and probably the world. They are a pretty large IT company. So he's a CTO. So Dr. Anant Krishnan talked about connected intelligence at the edge. And then, of course, we were supposed to have the president of Reliance Jio, Matthew Oman, but he had a situation at his home. So he deputed his senior vice president, Radhe Sharda, from Reliance Jio, which is probably going to roll out 5G in India soon. At least that's what we heard from him. So we had some very good keynote speakers, and there were several talks which were very interesting. Some of the, especially I think today we had some very interesting talks from Tom Daly and Christopher Brinton and several of these people. So now I'll come to what's next in 2021. And so the idea is that the team would like to, publish an edited book based on the proceedings of this winter school, because many of the participants were talking about, making the notes available and things like that. So we had this idea of, putting together all the topics covered here from the speakers and probably put it as a collection of articles and probably publish a book. At least that's what we plan. and Kaushik is going to play a lead role in this. So the other idea is that we plan to have one more summer school, probably physically, at IIT Kanpur next year. So we hope that COVID will be, a thing of the past, and we probably will be able to have a physical summer school or a winter school at IIT Kanpur, the next one. And as Russell pointed out many times during the course of this winter school, so we probably plan to have some workshop and special sessions at the 7th World Forum on IoT. See, the other aspect that I'm thinking about is in the Indian context. So we have many groups in India at IITs and other places which work on wireless communication. There's large groups which work on wireless communication. For example, we had a talk from Professor Rohit Budiraja, who is one of the lead participants in developing a 5G testbed for India. So we have a large number of groups which work on wireless communication. So, and many of them work on IoT. For example, I work on IoT a lot, and there are many groups which work on IoT in India. So probably we could look at forming a special interest group on fog and edge computing in India, and probably look at more localized workshops, schools, and short courses on fog and edge computing, where we could have many distinguished speakers. Something like we probably be able to spread fog and edge computing more widely in India, because there's a lot of interest in fog and edge computing in India. So these are some of the plans for 2021, and I've put the question marks here because if Russell or Kaushik or anybody has anything to add to this, it'll be great. So Russell, you want to add something?
No, I just say namaste.
Thank you, Russell. So I think we have pretty much come to the end of this school. And Kaushik, you want to have some final comments?
No, so first of all, this plan, what's next? I think it's well thought through, and I look forward to being part of it. And I know that through this event, we had a lot of great, talks. People are speaking about different things. So some kind of a new network has been created. I know that there are several people that spoke, and I know that there are opportunities to connect with them beyond this, event. I know Anurag spoke about Africa, and so there may be opportunities for collaboration there. I know Tom Daly talked a lot about 5G. He kicked off the day with that, and I think there's a lot of 5G activity going on in India, and I think some of his experience in successfully launching in the US, both from a technology perspective as well as from a non-technical perspective, like regulatory and security and other perspectives. I think there's opportunity for people to connect with him, and so like that, and of course Prashant talked about a great topic, and other people from yesterday. So what I mean was that there's so many connections made here. So hopefully we could leverage some of those connections. They could become part of this what's next, and some new things can happen. New collaborative relationships can be built, as a byproduct of this event. But nothing else. Just thanks to all.
Kaushik, I see that Tom is online. Tom, do you want to make some comments? Tom, if you're around, would you like to make some comments?
Yeah, he's there. He's on mute.
Okay, maybe he's. Yeah, I'd like any panelist who would like to say something, because we're winding up, and it'd be great if you can say something. So we'd be happy to listen to any comments. So any of the panelists who are online?
Yeah, Sanjay also joined. That's great.
Yeah, Rajesh, Rajesh Kaushik, can you hear me? This is Sanjay here. Yeah.
Yes, Sanjay. Yes.
Yes, I think I came in at the last moment, but I really enjoyed it. All I would like to say is that I would definitely like to be part of your 2021 edition. And I think that time I'll be more, I'll think through it, and I'll be be able to present it in a much, I would say, detailed and better way. But I think I really enjoyed whatever time I had on my hand, and I'd like to be part of this session going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay. So anyone else would like, Gurkhan, you would like to make some comment?
Hi, yes. Thank
Yes,
you
yes,
very
go.
much for organizing. I also really enjoyed all the talks I have listened, and I really like the general topic of the winter school, also on focused on fog computing. So I was also, it was really a pleasure for me and also my colleague Flavio Cirillo from NEC to participate and having the opportunity to present some of our work in this winter school. I hope everyone enjoyed.
Thank you, Gurkhan. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
So would anybody like to say something else? Okay, so I'd like to, I think then we can close the school. Russell, you want to say something? Final word? Russell, are you around? Russell, you need to unmute yourself.
I was just to say thank you for anyone, anybody. And the one thing you put three question mark there. Personally, and I think I also talked to you and Professor Karatikas a few times. I'm thinking that IIT Combo campus should be very, very easy to establish the environment. Not only the research is the top research around the world, but also have the prototype or idea through that technology commercializations, and then to get involved in the seriously technology entrepreneurship creations, and then that many IIT graduate right now in a very active, and they I think that if my memory correct, 3 of the 5 the big ICT at the companies CEO from you guys, and then should be a cooperate with each other. Yeah. So that I really enjoyed it, and then but sorry about the time, the time difference that I did not continuously to these 2 days.
Yeah, I think Russell, the time difference makes it people from the US, it makes it a little bit difficult because it happens most of the time at night. So, but I think it was overall well attended and received well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this can be the annual event, and 2022. I'm thinking that because the 2 years ago in Shanghai Tech, now in Campbell, so that 2022 we can go to Europe, and I have the candidate in my mind because I know the professors there, Poland, but and I would to bring and we as a group to talk to them because I'm also affiliated with the Poznan Universal Technology. That's easier for me to do it.
Sure, Russell, thanks a lot. And I think we have, yes, Kaushik, yeah.
Rajesh, what I just want to, of course, special thanks to the hundreds of people who joined, who registered. And one thing that comes to my mind is that a lot of them asked a lot of good questions and they had a lot of follow-ups. So, I mean, maybe we couldn't address every one of them, but if there's a way to, for somebody to go back and make sure that we are able to bring closure to some of these people who put comments or who asked questions and we couldn't address them, because they we really appreciate their participation. I think the large gathering over the last 2 days. So if you want to say anything about it, in terms, because some people are asking about, can I get slides? Can I get this?
Yes, Kaushik, thanks for reminding me. So the proceedings have been completely recorded, and we have already started getting the slides from all the speakers. So we'll put together the slide deck and the videos, and we need to clean it up a little bit, and then we plan to make it available to the attendees. But then we'll do that with the permission of the speakers, and we'll also talk to IEEE, because I remember IEEE asking us to see if we can give them some details of this event and slides and things like that. So we'll definitely make it available, but it might take a little bit of time, but we'll do it. And the second part of your answering the questions, I saw that most of the questions were answered, but there were some of them which went unanswered. So what I'll do is we can get all these details from Zoom. Hopefully, I'm hoping the questions will be there, the chat will be there, and we'll see if we can retrieve that and then try to see and give an answer and send it out to all the attendees via email, or we will figure out a way to do that. I think whatever questions went unanswered, and availability of slides and videos, we'll definitely do it. I think we'll have a follow-up meeting with all the with Russell, you, and other people, and then we can decide how we make it available. So we'll surely do it. I mean, we are planning to do it. And there was a question on certificates, so I've answered that many times. So people who have attended can send a request at the IEEE Fog School 2020 at gmail.com. We'll surely send them a electronic certificate. So, Kaushik, I think, can we close the school?
Yeah, I think we can, unless if there's one more opportunity for anybody to say something. Like, I don't know, Tom is on. I know that you asked him something. Tom, are you still on? If you are on, you can say something, share your thoughts. Otherwise, anybody else, Anurag or Ajay, anybody else can do that. Otherwise, we'll just wait for a few more seconds and we can conclude.
Hey, this is Prashant here. So thanks, Kaushik and Rajesh. Really brilliant conference. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Kaushik, it's Tom. Sorry, I didn't see the question. I am on.
Okay. Yeah, I think the question was, Rajesh, I was just talking about how this opportunity has created some new connections, and how a lot of people who spoke, there may be follow-ups in terms of people wanting to reach out to them, or an opportunity for this group here and to collaborate, on future projects. And in that regard, when I was saying that, Rajesh mentioned your name because I was talking about you on 5G. So if you had any thoughts that you want to share about, your area on any potential collaboration opportunities.
Yeah, thank you. No, I do think that's a great idea. 5G, and I made reference to some of the work that we're doing in the area of drone technology, and 5G regulation, but also, some strategizing and, thinking about thinking about use cases. And it's interesting. I have a client who is actually in the contact center space, and they really didn't know much about 5G and asked for just a primer on it. So I've provided them with some information, and we're sort of exploring the relationship at this point. But it was interesting because it's a publicly traded company, but their executive committee really didn't know 5G or how it would impact them. And they themselves it's not entirely clear what 5G would do for their business, but some of their suppliers are going to be responding to 5G. Their customer demands will undoubtedly lean in that direction. The increased use of video, I mean, any number of things could influence it. So it's interesting to explore 5G, even when you don't think that you necessarily see an obvious connection.
Yeah.
And of course, the regulatory issues are always very interesting and challenging as well, as I mentioned in my discussion.
And what I feel is that as India is building its 5G infrastructure, perhaps you can play a role with your extensive experience from the US and successful deployment. I think you can probably be involved somehow. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. Very interesting. Thank you for
Actually,
the
Kaushik,
idea.
Radhe was there for quite a large amount of time today as well. He was there yesterday and today till the afternoon. I think after that he left. So,
Okay.
I mean, he pretty much knows what happened at the school because he was there yesterday and today he was there till the afternoon. So Radhe is the senior vice president of Reliance Jio. Tom,
Yeah.
we were supposed to have Oman Matthew, who is the president of Reliance Jio, speak at the event, but then he had a COVID situation at home, and therefore we had we had a senior vice president talk at the school yesterday.
Kaushik, I want to make a comment here.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So I want to thank you personally for inviting me to this school because the time difference, I didn't attend all. But what I'm seeing is that you all have so much of knowledge, so much of hard work, so much of, repertoire of experience. I often speak and talk about innovation and say innovation not producing the new iPhone 20. If in a country or in a city you can bring the first iPhone 5 they haven't seen before, it solves problems. So all of you in your world, in your students, colleges, universities have done so much. You may be me too, me 20. Prashant will say in the startup world you could be me 100, but you may be the first in many countries. I'm talking Africa, we have 54. So if any of you have any idea where you are competing with thousands of people and you feel there could be something which could be tested in a city, in a country, in a village, whatever, I'm personally willing to help you. If you have something which can help a government, can connect you to the governments, public, B2B, B2C, B2B2C, whatever things. I mean, I'm also connected with all the telecoms, the MTNs, the Airtels, the Globacom. We are big. Telecoms play a huge role in Africa. I mean, telecom in Africa is really transforming lives because that's the only thing which works, financial services and telecom. So within any aspect of your world, I'll always bring in the business side. And I can talk, Eastern Europe, also worked a lot in Romania and other places. Of course, I've worked in Taiwan, Philippines, etc. So I'm trying to see all around the world, there is a lot of commonality. You all are, to me, what I've heard is, epitome of knowledge. You have so much. How do you now spread that to solve problems of humanity? I'm delighted to be there. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Anurag. So, Kaushik, I think we can close the school now.
Yep.
So, thanks a lot to all the panelists who have joined us yesterday, today, and who have given us comments today. And my special thanks to all the attendees who have participated in large numbers and are still listening to us. So, I'd like to thank everybody associated with the school, the organizers, the participants, the panelists, the speakers. And I hope you have all enjoyed the event. Thank you very much. And Russell, namaste.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Kaushik, can we close the school now? Russell,
I think we enjoyed it so much for the last 2 years, and we all had probably created a special bond. We are not able to drop the call. We are not able to leave. So anyway, thank you all.
Yep. Thank you all so much. And thank you all for joining. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Actually, some people are wishing Happy New Year. So Happy New Year to all of you.
Yes, yes, Kaushik, we forgot to mention that. Okay, Kaushik, we'll talk later.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Kaushik. Bye.
Yeah.